I'd like to take a moment at the beginning here to acknowledge that we are on the indigenous lands of the Coast Salish people who have reserved treaty rights to these lands, including the Snoqualmie tribe. We thank these caretakers of these lands who have lived and continue to live here since time immemorial. I'm excited to deliver my State of the City address in January this year, as it provides us a wonderful opportunity to reflect on our past accomplishments and look forward to our 2024 goals. Every other year, Issaquah conducts a community service. This is how we assess how our residents view the city's various services and our overall performance. The survey is just one of the ways that we gather your feedback and hear your perspectives on what it is like for you to live, work, and play in this community. Resident responses provide valuable information that help guide the strategic direction of our City Council, as well as the planning and day-to-day work of our city staff. We have an interactive dashboard on our website that you can explore, and last year's survey is available for you to review. Several important notes came out of that survey. An amazing 98% of the resident survey rated the overall quality of life in Issaquah as excellent or good. Meanwhile, 97% rated the city as an excellent or good place to live, and 96% rated their neighborhood as an excellent or good place to live. As a mayor, seeing this level of community engagement and pride is very, very encouraging. The residents also rated many of the city's services as very satisfied, and this included 91% for fire and ambulance service, and we do have Chief Lane if you want to wave in the back. Thank you for all that you do for our community. 88% for parks and community service programs and facilities, 84% for trash, recycling, and yard waste services, 79% for police services. I'm not sure if our police chief is here today or not. Not seeing her right now. And 72% for water, wastewater, and stormwater services. 70% for effectiveness of the city's efforts to sustain environmental quality. This is a testament to the hard work of your city and all of our partner agencies. The community survey also told us what residents want more emphasis on in the next 2 years. And not in any way surprising, it is still addressing traffic flow and congestion in Issaquah. Always a primary concern. Other priorities include land use planning and zoning, as well as maintenance of city streets, sidewalks, and infrastructure. We hear you, and we are working hard on next steps to further tackle these very important issues. And I'll talk a little bit more about that work later on. The data collected from the community survey helps us to understand where we as a city stand. It allows us to celebrate our accomplishments and to focus on our future work. Everything we do as a city is dedicated to improving the lives of our community members and our businesses. Here are just some of Issaquah's 2023 accomplishments. Standing in a room of local business owners and business leaders, it's very important we talk about our work addressing social and economic vitality. And do we have any new business owners this year in the room that I can embarrass by asking you to stand up? Any new businesses? Okay, just wanted to check. Every year it's always fun to come and meet a few new faces and hear about some of the exciting businesses that are coming to town. So we did welcome several new or updated businesses to our community, including Felix and Fido, Flavor of India, Blazing Bagels, Pickles Playland, Great American Diner, Maharaja Indian Cuisine, Sip Thai Zoom, Mashti Bar and Grill, Levant Cafe, and many, many others. I want to thank each new business for choosing this city and wish them success for decades to come. As mayor, one of my priorities is to foster a responsive government that supports our business community. In 2023, our economic development team supported 75 different businesses with technical assistance. They also hosted a job fair as well as several networking connection and technical assistant events for local and home-based businesses. Strengthening our business community is a win for us all. I hope you can join us at future events to share successes and lessons learned with others so that we can further boost our local economy. Our team also partnered with local organizations, including the Greater Chamber of Commerce, Visit Issaquah, Issaquah Highlands Council, and Downtown Issaquah Association to develop an eye-catching Issaquah Loyal Shopping Guide, which highlights local businesses and the advantages of shopping local. And I believe we have some folks. If you're from Issaquah Highlands Council, visit Issaquah or downtown Issaquah, can you raise your hands? Again, so people can find you in the room. Thank you for all that you do. Social and economic vitality means caring for our community members, especially those most vulnerable. In 2023, the city provided free heat pump installations to community members who are at higher risk for experiencing the impacts of climate change. We funded 7 installations for households with low income, seniors, and transitional housing for previously homeless women and children. These upgrades and installations will improve comfort and air quality for the households. They will provide cooling during our hottest months and replace inefficient or fossil fuel heating sources. As we continue to advance work on our city's climate action plan, including the Clean Business and Buildings Incentive Program, we are committed to putting equity at the forefront and ensuring our most impacted community members are not left behind. And sticking with environmental topics, the city implemented a robust urban forestry program last year, which was a clear community priority. This innovative program works to preserve and enhance Issaquah's beautiful green spaces. Amazingly, there are about 1,500 acres of city-owned forest parkland and natural areas in Issaquah, which is nearly 20% of our land cover. Not too many communities can use those numbers. I also know that during some of our GIS mapping, staff told me while there are 40,000 residents in the city of Issaquah, there are 200,000 trees. So that is a statistic I use everywhere when I'm visiting. I love that. It's what makes us so beautiful. Issaquah works closely with community members, volunteers, schools, businesses, community organizations, and other agencies, including the Washington State Department of Natural Resources, so that we can maintain, preserve, and restore our exceptional urban forest. Much of that work is achieved through a program called Green Issaquah. To say the community plays a role in its success would be a complete understatement. In 2023 alone, 1,277 volunteers completed more than 3,200 service hours, which far exceeded our original goal. This was achieved through 65 hosted events throughout the city, including our first ever Green Issaquah Day. We also trained 10 local forest stewards who lead their own small restoration projects. In addition, local organizations like Mountains to Sound Greenway, Rotary Club of Issaquah, and the Issaquah Alps Trails Club all hosted their own events in coordination with the city. Large local business partners like Costco, REI, and Microsoft all held various planting and stewardship events in Issaquah. In total, as a community, we restored more than 42 acres last year and planted almost 40,000 native plants. A huge round of applause for everyone who said environmental stewardship was a priority and then put the work in to prove it. I'm so proud of all of you for your help. You are helping us ensure that Issaquah is a place that future generations can also enjoy. Another key goal outlined in our strategic plan is focused on city leadership and services. We strive to be an agency that aligns community priorities with tangible results to achieve great things. After years of work, the U.S. Green Building Council awarded the City of Issaquah with LEED Gold certification for its exceptional performance in fostering a sustainable, resilient, and equitable community. Issaquah is one of only 5 LEED certified communities statewide and the very first city in Washington to achieve LEED Gold certification. This achievement is an acknowledgement of decades of work on sustainability and quality of life enhancement by cities, businesses, community partners, and residents. With this certification, Issaquah joins a global network of more than 150 cities and communities in documenting and tracking our performance. Continuing to think globally, I would be amiss to not mention one of our newest residents. Thanks to the great work of our staff and Arts Commission, I'm assuming the picture popped up because I heard a giggle, the city hired Danish environmental artist Thomas Dambo to include Issaquah in his wildly popular Way of the Bird King troll project. Fashioned out of recycled materials, we welcomed Jakob 2 Trees to our community last summer. Standing 14 feet tall and greeting all Rainier Trail users with a smile, our new public art installation tells a tale of protecting nature and honoring local land and waterways. Jakob 2 Trees is one of 6 in the region, The other trolls are located on Bainbridge and Vashon Islands, as well as in Ballard, West Seattle, and Portland. And many of the folks who come to see one go to see the other 5. It's become a thing. Every whimsical troll sculpture is part of an underlying environmental story. The project reinforces the shared values of environmental stewardship for watershed protection, restoration, and preservation of riparian habitats. It also celebrates the human experience of art by amplifying the connections of cultural heritage between Coast Salish tribe communities and Scandinavian traditions. Jakob's popularity continues to boost local tourism, online engagement, and the use of our urban trails. The value of investing in public art could not be any clearer than that. Let's now turn to a top community priority, mobility. Last year, we finalized an agreement with King County Metro to bring the popular MetroFlex on-demand service to Issaquah. This new service helps to fill in the transit gaps that we've identified in a creative and a measured way. Simply book your ride with the MetroFlex app, and no matter your destination in the local service area, arrive within a block of where you need to go for just the price of a bus fare. MetroFlex is also part of the Orca card system, which means rides include free transfers to buses and our local youth ride free. Learn more about this great new program on our website. And this program was a long time coming. When I actually got on council 10 years ago, I was preceded by another council member who had been advocating for this for over a decade. And now it's here, and I let him know how grateful I am for the early work he did to make sure that we qualified for this program. As I highlighted earlier, our community wants increased maintenance of city streets and infrastructure. As a first step, we invested even more in our pavement and concrete management programs. Issaquah has grown incredibly in the amount of infrastructure that we've had over the last 30 years, and in my time here, we've grown in population by over 500%. So a lot has changed. But this is a council direction, thank you to our council, for making sure that whatever we've invested in, we make sure we take care of it. So this was a significant shift on behalf of the council, and I'm really, really grateful for that. These programs extend the useful life of the city's infrastructure by utilizing cost-effective preventative maintenance techniques. This strategy is developed utilizing tools and data such as scans, traffic studies, roadway coring, historical development or maintenance activities, and the general knowledge of the program staff. Projects were identified and completed across the city, including in central Issaquah, Issaquah Highlands, North Issaquah, and Squawk Mountain neighborhoods. Each year, the city also identifies, designs, and constructs mobility improvements, completing connections that focus on sidewalk and bicycle gaps, as well as safety improvements. In 2023, 5 projects were completed that improved neighborhood connectivity, constructed multi-use urban trails, installed curb ramps for improved ADA access for those with disabilities, and improved illumination for pedestrians at busy intersections. You can learn more about each of these projects on our website. What that means for you and me is that in 2023, the city worked to complete 5.75 miles of repaving across the city, replaced 52 pedestrian access ramps, improved 4,300 lineal feet of curb and gutter, mitigated 500 high edges on pathways and sidewalks, and installed more than 15,000 square feet of concrete sidewalk. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in one of our most community's important assets, which is our streets. Improvements in our city's infrastructure also means ensuring we are ready for changing public priorities. In 2023, we installed 8 new Level 2 EV charging ports for public use, as well as several for the city's own fleet vehicles. These chargers logged more than 1,000 charging sessions in the last 6 months of 2023 alone. That adds up to 8,000 kilograms of CO2 savings. That is like planting more than 130 trees and letting them grow for 10 years. These investments make a difference. Since the opening of Jakob 2 trees and the use of the nearby community center, the public charging station point has tripled in usage. The city will continue to invest in our future with the installation of additional public chargers. We are also phasing out some of our aging city fleet vehicles for electric alternatives, the first of which will arrived in the last few weeks. Another city focus, one that is very important to me as mayor, is ensuring our growth is proactively managed. planned for, and communicated in a responsible way that retains our strong sense of community and livability. In partnership with the community and our boards and commissions, the city completely overhauled its land use code last year. This was a massive undertaking that impacted nearly every department, and in my 30 years of hanging around the edges of local government, I don't know another city that has ever done this and done this in this amount of time. I am forever grateful for all of those here and staff team and community members that participated in this process. I really didn't think we could do it. It was a great job. Our goal was very simple: to improve the regulations that guide growth and development in Issaquah. Commonly referred to as Title 18, this update will help us better preserve, strengthen, and guide the patterns of development that define the character of our city. A very, very special thank you to all the staff, boards and commission members, residents, and business and community members who put in the immense amount of work for so long to see this completed. I'm very proud of this accomplishment, and I know it will have a lasting legacy for decades to come. So onward to 2024. Here are some of our notable goals for the coming year. Following a significant public engagement, Issaquah adopted its first strategic plan, called Our Issaquah, 5 years ago. This plan, which is fully focused on driving meaningful outcomes for our community, has been extremely useful as we prioritize our limited resources and budget. That said, it's time for a refresh. It was always our intent that Issaquah's strategic plan be a living document, one that is periodically updated and matches the community's vision, mission, and guiding principles. To help guide this process, I am forming a limited-term volunteer task force, which will meet 4 to 5 times between late February and the end of May. If you are interested in volunteering, please come and talk to me later, or you can send an email to my office by Friday, February 2nd, 2024, expressing your interest and ability to commit. I'm excited to work with our community and City Council this year to update our Issaquah, which will continue to be our go-to plan of action. Meanwhile, as our city continues to grow, so does our need for space to serve the community. Issaquah police have outgrown the bottom floors of City Hall, which also includes a jail and a gun range. In addition, the Issaquah Municipal Court needs more space than our once purpose fire station across the street at City Hall South can provide. Our facilities team is currently assessing our options. As you all know, space and or land, school district as well, can be very challenging to do. And that said, it's essential that we make progress toward a long-term facility plan that puts community services first. I'm excited to announce improvements to our park system as well, and our recreation programs, all coming in this next year. Issaquah will be remodeling Pedestrian Park, which is near Jack's Restaurant, as well as the plaza near the Senior Center, to deliver multi-generational spaces for gathering that will enrich these gateway areas and complement Old Town. These updates will revitalize an area of town that is crucial to so many of our beloved annual events and is in one of our primary commercial districts. We also know that our recreation programs are incredibly popular and often have very long waiting lists. Our plan is to expand these programs to match our community's interests. And as our community continues to diversify, it's also time to experiment with new programming to better align with a variety of interests, like last year's incredibly popular Boo at the Barn event. It was so packed at the barn, I tried to drop in to say hi and see, and I couldn't get a parking space. So it was one of the most popular new events that I've seen since I've lived here. And speaking of park, it's also time to update our park strategic plan. As our community evolves and needs change, so too does our vision for future investments in Issaquah's parks and trails and open space. Some of the public engagement for that project occurred last year, but we're looking for a draft of the plan to be available this spring for public comment before it moves forward for adoption. Turning to public safety, I'm thankful that our police department is nearly fully staffed. That has been an extremely difficult thing to do in this region. It allows us to focus on our community policing goals like targeted theft prevention, the return of community programs, and more data being shared with our community. The Issaquah Police Department continues to find opportunities to use data to inform their enforcement strategies. By reviewing trends and analyzing hotspots, we can properly allocate resources where they are most needed. Meanwhile, the department is also increasing transparency through its incredibly popular police blotter. Again, there will be a link on our website if you're interested. This blotter summarizes calls and incidents in a weekly report. And like I said, the sign up for it is on our website. You have heard me say numerous times today how data plays a key role in our day-to-day work. The data-driven decision-making will continue to expand into more of our work in 2024. Next year, we will be using data to better manage and streamline our permitting process. And we're also planning the launch of an open data portal so residents can explore more city information for themselves. I'm thrilled that we recently welcomed a new emergency manager to our team. This critical role is responsible for ensuring that we are all prepared for the worst that might come. With summers becoming hotter and drier, the Emergency Management Program has increased its efforts in preparing for wildfires. This year, in partnership with Eastside Fire and Rescue, the city will work on its Community Wildfire Protection Plan that will serve as a roadmap for how our community lessens the risks and impacts of wildfires on our community. Another focus for the emergency management team includes training new staff members and community groups on how to respond during emergencies. We're also planning an exercise this spring with one of our most vulnerable community groups, seniors, to test out our training and our plans. Finally, late last year, the City Council approved a 0.1% sales tax increase, which will raise about $2.2 million annually for transportation projects. In the nearer term, these funds will help build a multimodal connection on Northwest Sammamish Road, as well as improve our intelligent transportation system, which helps manage traffic flow throughout town. This long list of goals for 2024 is extensive, but it is possible thanks to our very talented team. When reflecting on our current staff, I am absolutely filled with confidence and pride. Our employees empathize deeply with our community members, and they provide exceptional public service. There's truly no better team to work with, and many of them are here today. And can I embarrass you all by asking you to stand up? Thank you. It is delightful for me to get to go to work with these people every day. I also want to take a moment to thank our City Council and Board and Commission members for their countless hours of work. The residents of this community benefit from your tireless commitment and to the public and to your public service for our city. Are there any Board or Commissioner members here today? Okay, let's have you stand. And just in case people don't know, the Board and Commission members are paid the big salary of $0. They just voluntarily give up their time to tackle some of our hardest problems and provide fabulous advice to our council members. So thank you very much for coming today. So to close, it's just important to note that all the priorities mentioned for 2024 stem from careful planning and very significant community engagement. And we're always looking for more community members to provide their important and diverse perspectives. One of my favorite parts of being mayor is getting to talk to residents and local business owners to understand what challenges they see and face and to marvel in what they love about our city. It's even better when I can convince them to start playing a more active role. So while standing before such an impressive group of community leaders today, I definitely have to make a pitch. Please join us and get involved. A great start would be for volunteering for one of our, I think it's 16 boards or commissions, which actively shape our future. We will begin recruiting shortly, and it would be amazing to have your voices added to these really strong teams. Our community is so strong because we all work together so well. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present again at the Greater Issaquah Chamber of Commerce. I appreciate it.